Hey, this is Tom from Inspiration Metalworks. Today's video is actually a special video that I'm doing because I've got a commissioned piece of art to do, and we don't want the people who I'm doing this for to see it just yet. This particular design is one that it's actually not all that complicated to do, but it's just going to be kind of fun because there's several pieces to it that I'm looking forward to. The first one on this one is that it's actually for my parents for their anniversary, and my dad came up with this idea, this design. He had seen it someplace on TV, and so I just wanted to make sure that their anniversary is coming up next Friday, and we want to get this done for them in time. So let's take a minute, we'll look at the design, I'll talk about what there is to do, and we'll get started. Alright, so let's take a look at the design here. And the design on this one is such that it's really just a bunch of squares, right? Or rectangles. So and it shouldn't be too bad to do. I think in this case, you know, I'll just get the chop saw out and we'll start cutting. I would love to be able to simplify this and just do the ends open, but I know what I'm going to need to do for all of these is miter all these ends for each of these. So it's going to be, it's going to take a little bit of time to do. Shouldn't be too bad though. And then on the bender, what I'm going to do is turn little rings, because what we're going to do is we're going to put these rings at strategic places here on the piece, and those are going to be candle holders, right? So we'll be able to put tea lights in here. So the overall dimensions, this is about 30 inches, and this is why I also use an actual CAD program when I'm drawing. In fact, let's take a look at it on the CAD model. I think that might help a little bit. Hang on just a second. All right, I don't know how well this is coming in, but this is what it looks like on the CAD drawing itself. So the design here is, you know, fairly simple. Not a whole lot to it, but like I said, it's going to take a little bit of time in that each of these corners are mitered. I'm torn on this one if I want to MIG weld this or TIG weld it. I could probably use the practice on TIG, so I might do that because it's just, you know, that many more beads that I'd be running. The material we're going to use for this is just some square bar square tubing that I have here, and I want to say this is 3/4 inch tubing. Yeah, 3/4 inch tubing. So yeah, this is what we'll be using. I don't know how well you can see that, if it focused or not. So we'll be using this. It is, I want to say 14 gauge. Yeah, they're about 14 gauge. So shouldn't be too bad to use. And, so with that, we'll get started on the on cutting. All right. So we're going to be using some recovered metal that we had here from an earlier project. I had to build a frame the other day. It was just a temporary thing, but on an up note, I did get to check, so I was just assembling everything, and none of the welds themselves failed. Everything was material failure, so that was always a nice thing to see when we're going through. So I got out the cold cut saw. I found that it is a whole lot cleaner and quicker than an abrasive saw. This one was given to me, and I tell you what, I am so pleased with this. But one thing that we're going to have to do is fence here, and it is graduated for the cut. But what we're going to need to do right now, we're set to 90. And we're going to need to loosen this up and change it for 45, since we're mitering all these cuts. But I never trust these gauges. And what I have found over time is this gauge in particular, it's not exactly true. Alright, here we go. Let me blow this out real quick. Get all this cleaned up. There we go. Big clean action here, and let's use a small piece here just to help get everything lined up right. Alright, now what we need, so we'll get it close, we'll set it to what this thing says is 45. Right here. And let's just snug this up for now. And let's get a gauge. Alright, so I get a little bit more close-up view. I'm not sure how well you can see from that angle, but we'll try it. So what I like to do is I like to set this against the work and just lightly snugging it down. And what I can see visually, especially as I bring the blade down, is I can kind of look down the blade and decide whether it's parallel or not. And actually it's really not. It's parallel would be about there. So what this lets me do is come in, loosen everything up, and start making adjustments. Too far. Gotta make sure that it's tight against the fence as we're doing this. Now thankfully this this line that I'm looking against is also pretty in line with the blade. And so as I get down low on it, and I don't know, you can't see me, but I'm about eye level with the blade right now. I can look at that and look at the gauge and check for parallelism, and that's pretty parallel there. So let's lock it down, snug everything up, and check it again. Just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So at this point, part's snug, the fence is snugged up. We're still looking about right there for 45 degrees. So what I'm going to do, put some ear protection on, and I'm going to take a test cut on this one about as close to the end as I can, and check that, and just make sure that what we're doing is right. Alright, sorry for the noise, folks. I'm sure that was pretty loud. Alright. So now, let's make sure we're still on the screen here. As we put this in, not in the screen. Alright, so now, let's flip this around. Okay, so now as you can see here, as we put the gauge on, we're at 45 degrees. Right, so we've got that nice and lined up. So we'll go ahead and start cutting our pieces to length. Now there's a lot of cutting to do, so I'm not going to show all of that. Alright, well, done all the prep work. I cut everything, cleaned it. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with just getting some tacks in here, but given the fit up, which is especially good for my typical fit up, it's never quite this clean. I'm actually considering just doing a fusion weld with the TIG. So I'm going to get it tacked together first and see how it looks, and then I might actually just do a fusion weld. I've got some just 32nd, 16th wire. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 16th. So I got some 16th wire out here just in case. Gloves on. No, I see these guys up. See guys welding without gloves on all the time, and I'm just not one of those guys. Not that I'm going to call anybody out on it, it's just not my comfort level. So that's about it. Alright, down. Yeah, that's what I thought. Move it just a little bit. I mean, I can't tell. I can think it's this, but I think I'm going to regrind this tip. Anyways, just to be sure, because it sure started jumping and sparking all over the place on me like there was some contaminants in there. I did clean this off before I used it. Alright, I'll bring you back in a minute.